Hey, what up, y'all? We're back with another Replicon Reviews. Good old-fashioned movie review right here from Replicon Radio. We're doing this one a little bit different this time. Some of us are still quarantined with all the stuff going on, so we don't have a fun video of all of us together, but we still got to keep the show rolling. This time we're doing it for the brand new movie. It's called Tigers Are Not Afraid. Again, me and Big Roo right here in the studio. We got Dead Body Man on the line. What's going on over there, Dead Body Man?
Hello!
Hello!
Hello.
It's coming from you live from Happy Land over there. That's what's up. But yeah, we got the new film, Tigers Are Not Afraid. This was actually written and directed by Miss Isa Lopez. We will have a interview up on the channel as well if you guys want to go check that out. It's a companion with this movie review as well as with the movie, which we are celebrating the release of the DVD Blu-ray Steelbook, which comes out everywhere on May the 5th. I'm just going to give you a brief synopsis of the film that was actually sent to us as the press release. So the synopsis of Tigers Are Not Afraid, a haunting horror fairy tale set against the backdrop of Mexico's devastating drug wars. Tigers Are Not Afraid follows a group of orphan children who are unexpectedly given 3 magical wishes as they run for the cartel that murdered their parents and the ghosts that haunt them. They must decide how to use these special gifts to save their own lives and the people they loved. Acclaimed by critics and filmmakers alike, Guillermo del Toro has called Tigers Are Not Afraid an unsparing blend of fantasy and brutality, innocence and evil. So those are pretty big words from a pretty big director there. I know, Dead Body Man, you actually watched the film more recent. I don't know why I have such problems saying that. But
yeah.
What were your thoughts of the film overall? Did you get into the vibe? Like, did you enjoy it?
Well, I started out with the film. I didn't really know a lot about it when I was given the film to watch. It is in Spanish. So it's a subtitle movie for non-speaking, for non-Spanish speaking. Why can't I say
for
that?
You non-speaking folks out there?
Yeah,
I should have mentioned that at the beginning. Yeah, the movie is in subtitle.
If you're not bilingual, you might have a little trouble with this movie.
Yeah. But anyway, I went and I got into the movie, and I enjoyed it. I'm just gonna do a blanket overall that I enjoyed the movie, and it's a good storytelling movie. But I did have a little bit of an issue with it, the fact that I felt like I started the storyline in the middle of a story. Like it just pops in with the middle. Like it just like if you were to turn on a movie and it's like, all right, cool, half of it's already happened, and it's like, all right, boom, here we go.
Kind of like how the Star Wars movies were released.
Yeah, I mean, kind of, yeah. But it's like, it starts in with like, all right, this girl, I think there's like a mass shooting, and they never explain that. And then, I'm not really spoiling anything because it happens in the first couple of minutes of the movie. But like, there's a shooting in the school, and then this follows a girl, which is not orphaned yet, but I guess she gets 3 wishes from her. I guess her sensei, which is her teacher or whatever, and then somehow she manages her way into an orphan kid village type thing, but like shack village. But if you don't look too deep into it, I mean, it all flows together and all that stuff. But yeah, I felt like it was kind of like a middle part to a story. Like, yeah, sure, there's a beginning, middle, and end to this particular storyline, but I feel like it's for people that play video games out here, I feel like it was a side mission to the main quest, it had a beginning, middle, and end, but there was so much that could have been told to this whole thing. But I mean, I guess that's just how it is.
I could see that. Yeah, overall, I was gonna say, it's weird. Like, we talked about it before we started recording this, and the movie was cool, and it looked great. It was a big thing just for me. Nothing against the movie, actually, just myself. It was hard to keep interest while trying to like read along and like follow because I'm super into, what I mean? Like, I'm a big Kevin Smith fan. I like to watch movies that have a lot of dialect, and like anytime I look away for a second, you know what I mean? Especially with like my phone and shit, not paying a fucking attention like I should have been. And I look back up, I'm like, what happened?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that was my biggest thing was with that, which is my own issue. But I could definitely
also played into it with this one that like it was a foreign film, so like it wasn't even just how normal, like how, because everywhere it makes films differently, and how like Americans make films, it like the storytelling's a little bit different. So like you have to pay attention to everything that is being said, otherwise, yes, you will miss like a major part of it.
Yeah, definitely need to pay attention. But I was gonna comment on like what you said about you just hopped right in. I felt like, so not only would I lose interest on my own behalf by just not paying enough attention, it was like, what I mean, the writer and director is from Mexico. That's where she was born and raised. Obviously, when you read the synopsis on the film, you get more of an idea what the hell is going on by reading that than you do from just watching the movie blindly, because you know what I mean? Like, reading that and knowing what I'm supposed to be watching, it makes shit like that make more sense. Because I'm like, what's going on? Why are these people fighting? Why is this happening? Well, it's the drug lords and all this shit that's going on in Mexico that I'm not familiar with because I'm not from that area. It'd be like me making a movie about, Fenton, Missouri neighborhood where I live and expecting people to understand what I'm talking about because it's normal. But that's not normal for me.
Right, and and at the same time, we are talking about the cartel, the Navarro cartel, I believe it was. But anyway, we're talking about cartel people that are going after children, but not even just children, but orphan children. Like,
yeah, because they jacked their cell phone or something, right? That's why. They stole the fucking cell phone. That's why they were going after him, right?
That's why the one guy was.
The one guy
that was the one dude was trying to get his phone back, and they stole it because
it had images on there that.
But yeah, I mean,
that's not really a spoiler. I mean,
it had stuff on it that he wanted.
Yeah.
But I mean, the general. But it's the whole. Besides that one situation, it's just the general concept of this is what happens in this world. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I felt like,
and it takes you a while to realize that. Maybe even a month later when you read the synopsis. You know what I'm saying?
Right. No, yeah, I felt like there was like 2 or 3 different stories going on as watching it. I thought it was a really good movie as far as I could follow around. I'm not a fast reader, so I would have to stop, pause, and try to read it, and then watch it again. Hit play or whatever. But I actually thought, if it was actually in English and I could actually understand it without having to read any subtitles, from what I gathered out of it, is a really good movie. It wasn't as scary, or I wouldn't necessarily call it a horror film, but it was definitely more like a kind of like a supernatural, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
I forgot that this was totally classified a horror film, honestly. Like, seeing it was just a suspense thriller. Like, it wasn't
there you go.
Horror at all.
Yeah, no, I didn't find it as a horror film by any means, but from what I've gathered of it and what I watched, I watched the whole movie, and it was, like I said, if I could actually just watch it without having to like stop and read subtitles, I would actually like it. I liked what I seen of it, and I think I would have gathered more. But yeah, I felt like there was more like, you definitely got to pay attention to what's going on as well as reading the subtitles. Some people have a hard time with reading subtitles and watching what's going on. So I can see why people would get confused with watching this movie. But if you are one of those that can read subtitles and still pay attention to what's going on, I think you will enjoy this movie.
For sure. I definitely want, even after watching it, I want to see it again. So luckily for us, it comes out on Blu-ray and DVD this Tuesday, May 5th.
That's right.
And even Collector's Steelbook, which is, I guess, I honestly, until speaking with Miss Lopez. I didn't realize that this is like a huge thing for movies. I didn't, you know what I mean? I don't make movies, so I didn't realize how big of a thing was. And this movie's been honored and celebrated. It's won a ton of awards. So, I mean, I would definitely recommend it, man, but I would recommend watching it twice.
Yeah, for sure.
Wasn't this technically classified like as an indie film type thing?
I mean, I guess technically.
I don't know. It kind of had that feel. That it was like a well shot indie film. That's what I kind of felt from it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the three of us, neither one of us are actually like really familiar with like.
I mean, it's
films from other countries.
It's titled horror/thriller.
Yeah, I think it was probably more on a thriller than it was horror. I didn't find anything like really scary or something that would actually really scare somebody.
No.
But from the story, it had a pretty good storyline with it. But like Dead Body Man said, it kind of felt like it started in the middle of the film. Usually films, from what we're used to, they start off with telling a story and follows along all the way through. This one kind of seemed like it was showing like a flashback and then jumping forward and then explaining and then jumping back and kind of back and forth.
Touching base on you saying flashback, I mean, that's another thing. If you're not paying attention, like there was a lot of jumps in it. There was a lot of jumps, a lot of flashbacks that like because you didn't really understand. Like they didn't really capture the like the time frame well to where like you could see present day look newer and all that stuff as well as opposed to the flashback where you could tell it was a little bit older and aged and the kids and people were younger or anything like that. But like a lot of the flashbacks had people that weren't in the present day, so like there was no way to gauge like a time frame. Like, all right, that was several years ago. This was now, and like if you like, it was kind of hard to follow that. You know, there was several flashbacks where I got a couple minutes into the flashback, and I was like, oh, this is a flashback. This isn't a side, story. This already happened. Okay, all right, this makes sense now. But it was like, it was kind of hard to follow in that aspect as far as that goes, as far as all the flashbacks.
Did either one of you find that it was odd that these kids had electricity in the middle of outside in like a homeless area or wherever they were at?
Well, I thought they just stole it. I mean, I just figured that they stole it from,
like they just tied into a power line and said, we got electric?
Yeah. I mean, that's how they do it in those countries. I mean,
I've actually seen it done on one of the live PDs is why I was asking. I was like, well, I guess that's how them kids, that kind of taught me something about the movie. I was like, I guess that's how those kids got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just jumped right into a junction box or something. I mean, it was pretty cool. They had a pretty cool setup, that's for sure.
I do feel like they treated the female main character, the kid, like she got a raw deal from the other kids, like especially the leader. Is in the beginning, like, why do you have to treat her so much like shit? Like she didn't even do anything. Like they kept blaming her for shit that was happening that she had nothing to do with. Like she was associated with, but it wasn't her fault. They kept blaming her for things that kept going on, like, oh, you're a piece of shit for this. Like, wait, what?
Yeah, from my understanding, though, like, the cartel was like, if they find a girl in their clique, that she's dead, pretty much, and their whole little group, they all were gonna die, from what I gathered, from what the kid was saying to her.
Yeah.
Like, this is all because of you. You're a girl, and if they find out that we have a girl running with us, then we're all dead.
Which, even that didn't even make sense because, like, they already wanted them dead anyways.
Right? Yeah, they were kind of already leading in that direction.
They're going to want us extra dead. They've already killed our family. Now if they know we have a girl with us, they're going to fucking extra murder us.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, before we give away too many spoilers, we want you guys to go check it out. Again, it is going to be available everywhere. DVD, Blu-ray, Steelbook, May 5th, 2020. Go check it out. Go purchase it on on Amazon, or if you're allowed to go to the store, get it at the store. And come back here. Leave a comment. Let us know what you think. Tell us what we missed. You know what I mean? Like, be like, hey man, you guys really missed the point of this, or you didn't catch that, or didn't do that. And definitely go check out the interview with the writer-director. She talks about it a lot. And spoiler alert, we get to talk about her after this movie was so praised by some of the big directors in Hollywood, including Guillermo del Toro. He has signed on to help with the next movie, and we talk about that a little bit as well. So
I'm pretty excited for that.
For sure. Go check it out. Go check out the movie Tigers Are Not Afraid. It's out everywhere.
May 5th.
May the 5th.
2020.
Check out all our other reviews, and let us know what y'all think. Yeah.
That's right.
Boom.
Repliconradio.com.
Boom. Repliconradio.com. Replicon Reviews. Check them out.